Hi, welcome back to A's for Addict. For those who've been watching the previous videos, thanks for coming back. Thanks for following my story. For those who are new to the channel, go back, look for the other book. Start at book 1. What it is a story of my life through addiction, all the trials and tribulations I've been through in the hard times, all self-inflicted, obviously. But have a look. My hope is that other addicts out there get to see that there is recovery at the end of this all. I don't want anybody to give up. There is recovery. I used for 20 odd years. I've been clean for 13, 14 years. I was a hardened addict. It wasn't just recreational drugs. It was crack cocaine, and I was injecting heroin. So it was pretty hard to come clean, but it did happen. And I'm proof of that. Yes, I want you to know, if you're using and you feel like it's time to give up on life, don't give up on the drug. There's so much more out there waiting for you. And those people that's dealing with addicts, that's trying to handle addicts or care for addicts, this is also for you to be able to get into the mind of an addict and see more or less how we think. Not all of us are total criminals. All we do is try and support our habit. It's become so hard for us that we end up doing anything we can just to support this disease that we've got. So I need you to watch it as well, just to get a better understanding of how we think and why we do the things we do. So when I ended off book 9.5, it was when Michael had taken me in, and I've been quite happy. So let me continue. When I was settled there now. I was quite comfortable, quite happy. Michael still used to party, still have friends over. And for the first while, must have been the first couple of months, I didn't get involved at all. I used to stay in my room. You must remember, these are people that used to party with Michael, people that I knew. It was people from my past, that when I was young, it was my friends as well. But I didn't get involved with it. I stayed clean, I stayed straight. But I also know the reasons that I done that was purely selfish. I was more scared of losing this place that I had found to stay. I didn't want to mess that up, and I think that's a big part of why I stayed clean. It wasn't really because I decided to come clean and I'm changing my life. To be perfectly honest, that wasn't it. I think there was a part of me that knew I'm still going to use. So in the beginning, I didn't use. I stayed clean while they used to party and that, which I was quite happy with, and I done it for quite a while. I started looking for work, and I eventually found a job at MultiChoice at DSTV. It involved shifts, so there was a 10 to 3 shift and a 3 to 10 shift, which I didn't mind. I've always been a strong worker. I'm dedicated and loyal, and I can work pretty well. So I started at MultiChoice, and I enjoyed it. It was a good job, and I really enjoyed it. But then I think the issue obviously came once I got paid. I don't remember exactly, but I know myself. So I think with some confidence, I can say when I got paid, I started my nonsense again. I don't think it was straight back to the hard drugs. I do know that at this time then I started mingling more with the guys when they came through to Michael's house to party on the weekends and that. So I started getting involved a bit. Then I started drinking a little bit with him. Michael always warned me about it, always said to me, "Are you sure?" He never promoted it. He was always basically against it. But he also knew I was a grown man, and if I wanted to have a drink, and if I said that I'm no longer doing the drugs, I'm controlling it, I'm okay, that's past, he gave me the benefit of the doubt, and he believed me, which in hindsight he should never have done, because I wasn't ready. I was just pretending, I was just fooling everybody, including myself. So that carried on a while like that. Then the drinking picked up. I started drinking more. Eventually, I used to drink a lot. I used to drink through a Friday into a Saturday, through the Saturday into the Sunday. I just used to drink the whole weekend. But also the reason I used to do this is because I did start drugs again, but I started recreational drugs. I started doing ecstasy, and what else were we doing? I think it was mainly ecstasy we started doing. Every Friday, every Saturday, we'd be doing ecstasy. that would become our jewel. That would be the main thing on the weekends. Yeah, it's not something I'm proud of either. But I mean, and if I look at it now, everybody else there at the time, nobody had that personality that they suffered from addiction. So I thought that I could just be the same, but I wasn't the same. I was far from the same. I was a recovering drug addict, and I never looked at that. I thought it's a jewel, so let me do it. Like I said before, I'll do anything once, twice. This is what happened. Just kept on doing it. So yeah, recreational drugs became my thing. Well, became my thing on the weekends, and drinking. Weekends drinking and drugging, ecstasy. Then our main thing was we used to go to Truth on the weekends. Truth nightclub or Allendale. That was our getaway and our party place for a long time. We used to love it. We'd get ready on a Friday evening. We'd only leave about 10, 11 o'clock. We'd call it double dropping. We'd double drop ecstasy, take 2 ecstasies before we leave. By the time we get there, we were already so high. And then have a good time. And we had good times. It was good, clean, innocent times. Nobody was getting hurt. Nothing was stolen to buy the drugs. Michael was earning, so he was buying everything. I mean, Michael wouldn't go out with less than maybe $5,000. If he didn't have that, he wouldn't want to go. So yeah, we started doing that. But then I started on weekends when people weren't looking and whatnot. I started buying crack again. I started smoking crack. Like I said, I stayed in Forest Hill now. Rosettenville was just down the road. I still had contacts. I used to drop it off quickly at the corner. I used to meet them, and I started smoking my crack again. And now my whole life starts going out of control again. I don't know what year this was exactly. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, so I start using, and I start staying off work, and all of that starts happening. Michael doesn't realize it until close to the end when I get fired from Multi-Choice. I get asked to leave there, and a couple of times Michael, he never caught me using, but a couple of times he knew that I was using, or I'd come back 2 days later, or there'd be reasons that he'd know that I was using, and he'd always warn me. He'd always tell me to stop it, and he'd always be so angry. I mean, it wouldn't just be a friend or a best friend. Rodney, you must stop that. It's not good for you. Or hey, don't do that. No, he'd be seriously angry and want me to stop. And I'd always promise to stop. I'd just say I messed up. Sorry, man, I messed up. It won't happen again. And it continually happened. And then, but he still let me stay. And things were alright. Things were alright for a while. Not for too long, but for a while. And then what happened after that is I met this girl. Her name was Tanya. I met her and we began a relationship. And the using slowed down, but I was still using. But yeah, I met her and things blew up really quick. We were together for a while. Next thing we decided we're going to move in together, and I moved into her place. She stayed with her mom, but they had a cottage at the back. I moved in there, and what started happening is I was working, but what I was doing is I was taking her car and I was pawning it. I was pawning a City Golf on a Friday night, and then using it all night, and then getting it back before anybody knew. This happened for a while. It happened a couple of times, and then the last time, I think I'm skipping over a lot because I don't remember clearly. I just remember using and all of this happening. But she never ever really knew. She never knew. And then the one night I pawned her car and I couldn't get it back. I didn't have any money, and I had no plan to get money to get it back from her. So I went to my brother's house. My brother, and it was late. It was about 8, 9 o'clock at night. I went to his house to ask to borrow money to get the car back. And as soon as I walked in that gate, as soon as I walked in Gavin's gate, he grabbed my face and he pushed me against the wall. These concrete slabs. He pushed me against the wall, and he pushed me so hard that he broke the slab with my head. And it was a big altercation, a big fight. But they eventually, I'm not sure if it was him or my mom, but they got the car out for me. They got it out, and she got her car back. And yet she still forgave me then. That didn't change anything. She still forgave me, and I still continued, doing that. And then at the end of the relationship, she worked for the bank, and at the end of the relationship, the last time when it ended, I pawned her car. She got it back. They'd known about it. Then I messed up again, and I went into Rosettenville, and I was there in Rosettenville for the weekend at the Nigerians' houses and at the dealers, and I was using it all. And on a Sunday, after being so tired and no more money left and running out, I phoned her, to come pick me up. And she did. She came to pick me up, but when she arrived, she was with her mother, and they picked me up. And as I got into the car, they said, "We're dropping you at Michael, want you out." She took me to Michael's house, and nobody was home. I couldn't get in, so I broke the window of his garage at the back, and I climbed through the window into his garage so that I could get some sleep. And I laid on one of the carpets that was rolled up there, and I went to sleep there. And when Michael came home, Michael found me in there. And he took me out, and he said to me, "I've got to leave. And all my bags were packed already into black plastic bags. He had packed my things and put them outside and said, "He wants me out, I must get out." Obviously there was a big fight, there was a lot of swearing and shouting. I don't think I fought back at all because I couldn't. I knew what I had done. Obviously now he was doing what he had to do, but I was worried. I didn't know what to do, where I was going to go. I had nowhere to go, I had nobody, so I didn't know what to do. What I done is I managed to get a taxi. I got hold of a taxi, and I went to my sister Debbie's house. I went straight to Debbie, and when I arrived there, I was in the taxi, and I got out, and Debbie came walking to me, and she said to me, "What's going on? Do you need a place to stay?" Because she saw that I had the black bags with me, and I said, "Yeah," and she said, "Okay, you can stay here." It was unbelievable. My sister never questioned me at all. Debbie didn't ask me not one question. What happened, why. She never asked any of that. So yeah, this was going to be where I would stay now. We'll continue the book 11 from my stay at Debbie. I'm going to end off now. I don't want to make them too long. I see the other videos are a little bit long, and I think maybe people get a bit tired of hearing my voice drone on and on. So I'm going to end it off now. But just to say that these people that I've mentioned, Tanya, Michael, my sister Debbie, these people have always been so important to me. My entire life, all the periods that I knew them, they were so important to me. And to know that the drug was so strong and such a strong influence over me, that I was able to treat them and do the things to them that I'd done. It's such a big regret, because people can forgive you. They can forgive you, and things can seem like they're better, but look, I don't know, but I feel that deep within them, they will always have that fear that it's going to happen again, or always have that little bit of not hatred. Hatred is a bit of a strong word, but the relationship between the two of you will never be the same. As much as the addict will want it to be, it will never be the same. Myself and Michael's relationship prior to him taking me in and letting me live in his house, compared to at the end of it, was a whole lot different. My relationship with my sister when I walked in there that day to how it ended up was a whole lot different. Tanya, the same thing. The relationship I had in the beginning, or even the relationship I had when she knew I was using, compared to at the end of it, was a whole lot different. Now, all three of these people had forgiven me. At the end of each story, they had forgiven me, but it didn't put us back to where we were. It really didn't. So for an addict, just be forewarned that people will forgive you. you know, people will forgive you. But I don't think you can get the relationship that you had before. So just know that you're walking into a new relationship. You're walking into something new that you're going to have to start building again as a new relationship. Not building onto the old relationship. Not trying to fix the old relationship. Not trying to get back to the relationship you had. But starting a brand new relationship where you're a new person. You know, if you're truly in recovery and believe you're coming clean and want to stay clean, you need to be a new person. You need to be a completely new person. You can't be the addict that you were. Although you'll always be a recovering addict, you can't be that person. You need to be completely new. It's the only way people will start seeing you as new and start treating you different. And don't ever think, oh, but you're not treating me like you used to. They can't, and they never will. You are not that person anymore. Now, we all go through a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. You know, so we change as people. Addicts change as well. We're not the same people we were before the drug use started. We're different. We're different. Anyway, thank you again for coming back to see book 10. Book 11 will be out shortly, but thanks for coming back and sitting through this with me. Yeah, it's been quite a ride already to tell these stories. It brings up a lot of emotions, you know, and a lot of things that I've forgotten. And I've got to say, a lot of times after the video, or in the evenings when I'm lying down, then I'll think about these things, and there's a lot of things that I miss. You must know it's 20 years that I'm compressing into not many videos for 20 years, but there's a lot of big gaps in my life that I'm missing, that come back in bits and pieces, and it'll be way too difficult for me to put it in for you. But we'll keep mentioning them as we go. Like I've said before, even if it's not in order, I'll just mention things that I happen to remember. Because it's important for me to get it off my chest and share it with somebody, not just sit at home and mention it. So anyway, thanks for joining me once again. Look out for book 11, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you.